Since the QX30 and Mercedes-Benz GLA share practically everything under the skin, the comparisons are inevitable. About the skin, clearly the QX30 is more creased, more Infiniti-esque. It's edgier than the Mercedes, but as we reported earlier, it costs the QX30 rear passenger headroom. The rear legroom is excellent. I like the look. At least it's different. Infiniti's interior has its own dash, infotainment system, but mostly Benz switchgear. Fit and finish are indeed near German levels. Benz's turbo 4-cylinder engine feels like plenty for this car. It's quick off the line and I didn't really feel any turbo lag. The ride is fine and the steering direct, if a bit light. It's not a hot hatch per se, but it is comfortable and quiet. Scrambling as all automakers are to sell more crossovers, I don't blame Renault-Nissan in the least for turning to Mercedes for its small SUV/tall hatchback collaboration. It could have done worse. The flip side, of course, is if Benz execs wake up one morning and decide to kill the GLA, the QX30 would likely be history as well. I'm also curious why Benz has sold around 19,000 GLAs so far this year compared to Infiniti moving 1,100 QX30s. That's a hell of a difference. Benz has about 320 dealers to Infiniti's 211, obviously not accounting for the sales gap. Those sales numbers are interesting, especially since I think this QX30 is better styled than the GLA, and I thought it felt more upscale inside. The shape and creases of the Infiniti are way better than the amorphous GLA. In fact, the Mercedes almost looks slab-sided by comparison. And I don't love the reverse rear pillar on the bigger Infinitis either, but it looks cool on this, in sort of a hot hatch kind of way. It just looks like Infiniti spent way more time on the clay model. It does feel a little tinny inside, like the doors and roof and floor pan are thin. There's a surprising amount of wind noise too, that was mostly coming from the roof where the big, dual-pane sunroof is. But it doesn't feel insulated from the outside world, at all. Like Wes said, power from the 2.0-liter Turbo 4 is plenty to pull this car around, and I would have guessed it was more than 208 horsepower. Not a ton of turbo lag either. It sounds a little strained and buzzy though, but thrust with 258 pounds-to-foot of torque was acceptable. The weather was fine, so I didn't get into the AWD portion of the powertrain, but I kind of wish I would have. I bet this would be fun. The transmission needs to be put in sport mode if you want to do any spirited driving. The brakes are great, with a short stroke and good feel. As for comfort, you can tell you're in an entry-looks car. You can hear and feel the bumps in the road, but it's not harsh at all. Side-to-side motion seems to be kept in check. So, Mercedes has a compact luxury crossover. Infiniti, BMW and Audi too. I don't think we're far off from a Cadillac XT3, which would probably be nice. I like the XT5 styling. But for now, this QX30 might be my pick of the segment.